The Fortnite World Cup was an event that was known for its incredible prize pool, with top performers becoming instant millionaires. However, last place wasn't too bad of a placement either, as it still guaranteed you a nifty $50,000. Now this prize money, paired together with being one of the best 100 Fortnite players, probably would motivate you to keep competing, right? Well, for some players, this wasn't the case. Today we are going to find out who the top 10 World Cup players are that quit the game, ignoring popularity and only taking their prize money and placement into account. Let's get started. Number 10. Belaeu. This Finnish player already qualified in the first week of the solo World Cup qualifiers, coming in 4th place. He competed in the World Cup and ended up placing 17th, taking home $112,500. And outplacing many star players like Clix, Benchy Fishy, Zayd and Mr. Savage. So why did he end up quitting? Well, he originally didn't want to. Straight after the World Cup, he placed 4th in the first ever Fortnite Championship and still proved himself as one of the best players in Europe. But after that, he experienced a massive drought. From his almost $180,000 in total earnings, he only made $7,200 after his Fortnite Championship performance. Still being optimistic in May of 2020, he stated that he wasn't going to quit Fortnite and that he wanted to become Finland's #1 again. But he ultimately quit in April of this year because of his bad mechanics. He tried very hard to keep up with the competition in 2020, going full-time and even visiting sports psychologists and coaches to help him get back on track, but he kept hearing the same thing. There were no real problems apart from his mechanics. In his statement, he said that his future in studying psychology has always been more important for him than playing Fortnite, as he will graduate as a psychologist in 2 years from now. And finished this announcement with his incredible disappointment in competitive Fortnite, but that he might come back in the future if the format improves. Leslie nowadays talks about his passion of psychology on Twitter, streams League of Legends for 20 average viewers on Twitch, and is currently studying the psychology behind love and romance, if you know what I mean. Number 9. Pika. Pika is a player from NA West, qualifying in week 7 of the solo World Cup qualifiers and doing it in spectacular fashion by taking 1st place. In the World Cup itself, he also performed incredibly well as he placed 16th and earned himself $112,500. Just like Belaeu. He wasn't too happy with the result himself, but stated that things were only going to go up from here. But did it actually go up? Well, not really. He had a good 2019, making more than $10,000 after the World Cup, but only made $425 in 2020, and already quit competing before 2021. He never gave an official statement on quitting the game, frequently disappearing and then making tweets about returning to Fortnite again. However, we can tell with certainty that he actually quit. His Twitter bio states, "Moved on from gaming, now I'm just living life," and former pro Fortnite player. And his Fortnite tracker also shows that his last tournament was played in November of 2020. So what is he up to nowadays? Well, he hasn't given any updates on his Twitter, and his last stream was in March of this year. So I had to ask him. And what did he respond? Well, I got ignored. So I decided to ask his friend. And if he replies, then I'll put something on the screen right now, but if he ignores me, then I'm sorry, I'm just not relevant enough to get this information. I tried my best. Moving on to number 8. Vinny 1x. When you think of Vinny, you usually think about his iconic duo Zexrow 2. They qualified for the Duo World Cup finals in the last week of the Duo qualifiers and ended up placing 9th in the actual World Cup itself, taking home $112,500 in prize money. He continued his domination with Zexrow in Chapter 2 Season 1, placing 2nd in the finals of the Fortnite Championship and made a grand total of $148,000 in competitive earnings. Seemed like a promising career, right? Well, after his 2nd place in FNCS, he only played 6 more tournaments before quitting the game. He ended terms with TSM and quit Fortnite in February of 2020, only playing 1 more event in October before disappearing from the game forever. So why did he quit? Simply put, he didn't find Fortnite fun or competitive anymore. He used to be determined and wanted to be the best in the world, but this desire started to become less important over time. After quitting the game, he started playing Valorant upon release and streamed other variety games like Among Us, Minecraft, Minecraft and VR chat. Eventually, he played his last ever tournament hosted by Final Mouse, being the Aim Gods Invitational. This was his first stream in over a year again, but it unfortunately only lasted 41 minutes as they lost 4-0 in the first round. Since then, he hasn't tweeted anything, so I decided to ask him about his whereabouts. But guess what? I got ignored again. Apparently, I am just irrelevant. We need justice for Justicul. So if you know anything about Vinny, please put a comment down below. It will help out a lot. Next up we have number 7. Zexrow. If we talk about Vinny, we of course have to talk about Zexrow as well. Well, apart from Zexrow being hated by Jarian, his competitive Fortnite career is also a bit less straightforward than Vinny's. He has probably made more quitting and coming back to Fortnite tweets than the average 16-year-old British Fortnite competitive player touching grass for the first time. Regardless of that, he made $292,000 in total competitive earnings and played his last event in March of this year. So as of right now, it seems like he has still quit Fortnite, streaming Valorant almost weekly. But when looking at his Fortnite tracker, I also caught him playing creative last week, meaning that he technically didn't quit. Now with his history of indecisiveness and his constant teasing about returning to Fortnite, it will remain a mystery if he ever comes back. But as of right now, he is still mainly focused on Valorant. Number 6. Rhux. Rhux played together with Pika in the World Cup qualifiers but failed to make it to the finals with him. However, he did qualify for the World Cup Solos event by placing second in week 5 of the qualifiers. While competing in New York, he actually outplaced Pika by placing 11th, adding $150,000 more to his bank account. But despite that, did he also outperform him after the World Cup? Not at all. Their competitive journey has been very similar as they kept playing together for all events. This meant that he ultimately made around $7,750 in 2019, about $3,000 less than Pika as he didn't place in any solo tournaments, and made nothing in 2020, as he quit the game in February of 2020, playing other games like RuneScape, Escape from Tarkov and League of Legends, only returning for 3 more Fortnite tournaments in November, after which he then quit indefinitely in Chapter 2 Season 5. These days he still plays games, playing various titles like Apex Legends, New World, RuneScape and Valorant. However, Fortnite seems to be out of the picture for now. Halfway through our list, number 5. Itemm. Itemm qualified together with his duo Derox in week 8 of the qualifiers. Their 4th place managed to get them into the finals where they placed 8th, taking home $187,500 each. Now Itemm had a good 2019 after the World Cup, earning $16,680 in total, but then had a disappointing 2020, making no earnings and quitting halfway throughout the year already. He explained on Twitter why he quit the game, saying that he believed that each update was becoming more casual with uncompetitive mechanics getting added, but also listed the community as one of his reasons, claiming that most players in the community are immature and that toxicity is unfortunately labeled as funny. And he makes a good point here, as that is unfortunately still the case today. The statement ends on his future in Fortnite, saying that coming back is definitely not off the table, but that he is going to enjoy life now and catch up with friends before he goes to university. Now unfortunately his Twitter is suspended, and he hasn't replied to me on his new Twitter, so actual detailed updates are impossible as of right now. However, I found something. I looked at his YouTube channel and noticed that his last video was in September of this year, playing Rust with a massive group of friends. I'm assuming that he is now in university and plays Rust in his free time. And Fortnite? Well, his Fortnite tracker is private, so we won't know if he returned to Fortnite anytime as of late, with his last known appearance being in May of this year. Number 4. Derox. Just like Zexrow and Vinny, Itemm and Derox were an iconic duo. And we already know how well they placed in the qualifiers and the World Cup itself. But did he continue his competitive Fortnite career for longer than Itemm? No, he actually even quit 2 months earlier. After the World Cup, he finished off his 2019 with only $2,680 in competitive earnings, with none in 2020. Derox made a small statement in April of 2020, explaining his situation with Fortnite and how he hasn't been performing well for a long time. He didn't enjoy playing the game after the World Cup, and that is why he stopped playing with Itemm, resulting in him not playing the game at all. He started playing Valorant and joined Ovation Esports as a Valorant player in July of 2020. After only returning to Fortnite briefly in May of this year together with Itemm, he hasn't played any of the game recently. Number 3. Crue. a player high up on the list who many new players might not know. Crue, nowadays known as Evil Pickle Rick for some reason, qualified for the Duo World Cup together with Chapix in week 4 of the qualifiers, and qualified for the Solo World Cup in week 9 by placing second, making him the only player in this list that qualified for both events. On top of that, he also did really well in both events, placing top 22 in duos and top 6 in solos, making a total of $650,000. He continued his domination all the way up until November of 2020, earning almost $51,000, after which he then took a 9-month break and fully quit competing in August of 2021. He never gave a statement on why he quit, nor has he given us any updates as of late. His Twitter has been silent since May of this year, there are no uploads on his YouTube channel since last year, and his last Twitch stream was in May of 2020. Crue's whereabouts is a mystery, and there is absolutely no point in me asking him what he is up to nowadays. I got ignored already by the others in this list, and this man is verified, making me even more irrelevant. So if you want to help me get some answers, please follow my Twitter, link is in the description, help me get verified. Number 2. Elevate. If you remember Elevate, then you probably remember his search for a girlfriend as well, taking girlfriend applications and trying to pick up girls with Myth. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he did it. On to number 1 of this list. I'm kidding, of course. Elevate used to be an absolute demon back in the day, winning the week 6 duo qualifier with Cease and then placing 3rd with him in the World Cup. They both earned $900,000 from the event, almost making them Fortnite millionaires from just one event. In an ideal world, of course, because taxes hit like a truck. He continued playing until April of 2020, playing his last Fortnite championship with Clarity G and placing 23rd. After the release of Valorant, he started playing it on a professional level, going out on loan to Beast Coast from 100 Thieves and making approximately $2,240 in total from tournaments. His Twitch and YouTube views dropped a lot, but he is still grinding content today, uploading almost weekly on his YouTube channel and streaming daily on his Twitch channel. At the end of the day, Elevate seems happier playing Valorant, but is struggling with his mental health. He experiences anxiety attacks at night and is currently working through some mental stuff. So hopefully he'll be feeling better soon. And at last but not least, number 1. Sam. Yes, our number 1 player that quit is actually a Fortnite millionaire. Sam qualified in week 3 of the qualifiers, placing 5th and barely making it into the qualifier spots, as only 6 people were able to qualify for the finals that week. In the World Cup finals itself, he surprised everyone. Sam came in 2nd place, claiming a prize of $1.8 million, and shocking the entire world with his incredible performance. But not much later, he actually quit. The 2nd best player in the world stopped his competitive Fortnite journey in April of 2020, only making $7,000 in earnings after the World Cup. He explained that his dream was to be the most decorated competitor in gaming history, and that he had his eyes set on Valorant next. His competitive career actually started with Heroes of the Storm, which is why he probably wants to earn money in as many games as possible. So far, he made approximately $5,280 from Valorant and is still competing to this day. However, he hasn't managed to find a new Valorant team to play for after his former organization team Dignitas dropped their entire Valorant roster in March of this year. But hey, Sam also has a girlfriend and seems to be happy with her, so he's probably not too upset. I know, it's the end of the video, but please wait. Leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and use code Justicul in the item shop. That would mean the absolute world to me. Now I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you in the upcoming video.